out there and vote.
I sure hope you will get out and vote.
They both want your vote, but they are two of the most unpopular candidates ever to be nominated for U.S. president.
You got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
The negativity surrounding this election is overwhelming, and with less than 2 weeks until Election Day, we found voters are still struggling.
I believe it's my civic duty to vote, right? But I am struggling between both candidates. Neither one is very likable.
It's a hard decision because I don't like neither one of them, truthfully. And it's unfortunate that we're stuck in such a bad place.
So if you dislike both candidates, what do you do? In the final debate, even Fox News moderator Chris Wallace encouraged voters to go to the polls.
We hope you will go vote. It is one of the honors and obligations of living in this great country.
You may think like, oh, my vote doesn't count, but how many people are thinking the same thing?
Dr. Robert Shulman is a psychiatrist at Rush University Medical Center. He listens daily to patients and colleagues agonize over the election and their vote. He says we shouldn't feel bad or guilty if we choose not to vote.
If somebody feels strongly about one candidate or the other, certainly it's important to vote. I think if you don't feel strongly, if it doesn't bother you, if you have no opinions and you don't want to vote, that's okay. People shouldn't necessarily feel bad if they don't want to vote. Be honest with you, if they find neither candidate acceptable.
According to the American Psychological Association's annual Stress in America survey, 52% of American adults say the upcoming election is a significant source of stress. Professor John List, chairman of the Department of Economics at the University of Chicago, has conducted his own research about voting patterns. He says people are more concerned about voting perception than the actual voting itself.
If you think about the underpinnings for why people vote, what we're arguing is that they're averse to lying. So we know somebody's going to ask us, did you vote? And we don't like to lie. So that gets us out to vote.
In 2010, Professor List conducted a study on the voting habits of 15,000 Cook County households. He found half lied when they said they had voted and really hadn't cast a ballot.
And I hear those critics say, get out to vote because if you don't, something bad might happen. But intellectually, when you think deep inside yourself, will your one vote matter? It's very difficult to convince yourself that it actually does. Our theory is, why do you go out and vote then? I want to feel better about myself.
For 19-year-old Austin Magadance and 20-year-old Hannah Hartle, it's their first opportunity to vote in a presidential election, and they are torn.
I grew up very right-sided, conservative kind of person, so I really hate to not consider voting for Donald Trump. But if I have to and I don't agree with either or, I'd probably just vote third party.
I wouldn't necessarily consider not voting, but I would definitely put more effort into figuring out which would be the best.
Media bias and social media persuasion may make it even harder in such a contentious race. So, should a voter fall back on party affiliation? Simply toss a coin. Vote for the candidate they dislike the least, or pass and wait until next time. And when it's all over, how many will have casted reluctant votes or not voted at all? For In the Loop, I'm Lauren Cohn.